Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Kevin Brock at
It's 7 o'clock. Yeah, we got it. We're just finishing
Got it.
up dinner here to make it happen. So nice job, Stoney. Way to rock and roll here.
Yeah, so I have to, as the host of the show, I need to just kind of apologize to everybody that follows this, is that we missed last week. Um, that was the week that Warren and Anthony and I and Dave Mayo came up, on that Monday to fish with you out there in Gold Beach. And that one day, because I normally fish on Sundays, threw me off. Missed it
Let me let
altogether.
me let me just jump right in there because people are like, "Oh yeah, you get to fish every day." And yeah, it is great. Okay, we're not saying it isn't great. We get cool people, we get to catch these big old beautiful fish, and we get paid to do that. But we're up at 5. I literally had to do some rewiring, a new fuse in the boat. My buddy Jacob Fry, he helped me out. Thank goodness he's around. He's more mechanical than I am. So anyway, we, we put that together. I barely got some food down, and now we're doing this, and we just flopped days. I It was Wednesday. It was supposed to be Thursday, and we
Yep.
just missed a day. It happened.
It happened. And it's,
So yeah.
it fell on me. I didn't even think about it till the next day. And then you're like, oh my God, I forgot too. So we were on the same page as far as forgetting. So
Well,
apologize.
I was so exhausted. We're cleaning fish. My wife's vacuum sealing fish for people. We just got done flaying fish, getting back. It's just a lot, and I'm not going to complain by any means. It's self-inflicted, and we love what we do, and we love being with people. So we don't want to complain.
Yeah, so let's just dive into that. So
But
you've been up
yeah,
there for a minute, and how's it going? How's it going out there?
well, consistently we're catching fish every day. The cool thing about Gold Beach is, hey, first of all, the weather. All right. Wherever everybody else is like 100 and some
It's
degrees.
105 right now.
Okay. It got to maybe 69, 70. It was a little warm here today. I'm still in my guide clothes, my overalls and my shirt. And I mean, weather is spectacular. Number two, the fish that you do catch are right out of the ocean. So they are chrome bright, beautiful meat inside, and they eat so well. And what I mean by they eat is once you eat them, you process them, barbecue them, flay them, smoke them, all the above. They eat fantastic. So we eat what's left over from clients, what clients don't take, or the bellies and collars. Remind me next week to show some bellies and collars. Maybe I'll show. I got to show how to fillet one. I got to do that for you. I got to do that for you guys. I do it a little different than other people do it, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, the fish are fantastic. They fight hard, and over here, every single day, whether you get them or not, you'll see somebody catch something, and so you know that you've got a chance.
Right.
You've got a chance at getting a fish. Sure, there's lots of boats, but they're all dudes that know what they're doing and everything else. They're going great, and you know, and it goes pretty good. It really goes pretty good. So that's what's going on up here on the really calm days, like tonight. Jake got out, and he got dropped the crab pots, and so we had crab, and get some rockfish out there. So that's pretty cool, and it's a really really neat place. Um, yeah, if you haven't experienced it, it's different. But the way we make fishing, it is truly easy. The fishing is truly, truly easy. Um, you press the button, you let it out a certain amount of number. You wait for the fish to yank down on it. You grab it, you fight them. You hope you land them, and we go from there. So spectacular weather. And they've got the jet boat rides, Jerry's Rogue River jet boat rides, the mail boat ride that goes upriver all the way up with Agnes, and you get to see bears and deer. You get to see the Rogue River at its best. Really, really a neat summertime, early fall destination. You want to beat the heat for a little while. A lot of people come from the valley. I'm surprised. There's lots of people camping here that come from California. The heat is just so nice up here.
Yeah, it's been blazing hot. We've got another run of hot weather here for the next few days. Not sure what the heat's going to do to the Feather River with salmon. Warren's gone out there and he's caught some salmon. A bunch of other guys have caught, and Anthony and I went out there last weekend on the Feather and anchored up right next to Warren just to watch him catch another fish, and we still didn't catch. We had a couple takedowns, but we did not land our own salmon on the Feather. But this weekend we're going back. We're going to go back out on Sunday. We're going to go with Rob Stoddard. We go with him quite a bit throughout the year, and he's going to show us what he knows how to do. And we're going to use some of your rods and some of your gear, and we're going to see if we can get ourselves a salmon out of the Feather this
All
summer.
right. Well, good luck. I mean, it'll be 10 days. I'll be back. We'll be back over there. And we'll be fishing the Feather. So I leave here beginning of September, so we're two thirds done over here. But boy, what a cool place. Literally cool place.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So,
weather's great. Today, let's talk about today. Fishing out here, and then let's do a real quick roundabout what's going on because I keep tabs with everybody, other guides, what's happening in the rest of the world and down in California more. But a lot of fish caught today. Guys said 6, 7, 8 bites, hookups. You saw fish landed all the time, and we were getting out of the way. We landed our own fish. Other people got fish. It was pretty cool. So lots of fish hooked up, and I think that this whole next week is going to get really, really good. There's just a lot of fish, so I'm looking forward to my next groups coming up, and that'll be a lot of fun. So super, super fun. Um, jumping into yeah, Travis just pitched in there. Thanks, Travis. Good to hear from you. Yeah, no, there's lots of fish all over. There's lots of fish coming in. The ocean had tons of fish. So yes, the sack will be full of salmon. Remember, nobody target them because they're looking for you. But they're looking out there. No fishing on the Sacramento River for salmon. But yeah, there's lots of fish. So 26, jumping ahead, will be a full opener, and we'll go over that later. But the sack will be open in 26, and we'll confirm that later on the podcast once the rules and once all the regulations have hit the books. But my inside sources say, yeah, you bet 26 is going to be good. Lake Orville still producing lots of big rainbows and salmon, anywhere between 65 and 75 feet down, troll 2.2 miles an hour, 6-inch sling blades, white hoochies with an anchovy tip on it. Guys, get out there and go fishing. It's been good. There's still some fish, been up 8, 9 pounds caught over there. Now, like you said, out of the Feather River, out of Yuba City, that whole area, Boyd's Pump, Star Bend, even all the way up to the outlet, there are salmon in the river
yep.
right now, and we can fish them. There's salmon jumping, and every single day there will be salmon caught. Now, from, I want to say, above Shanghai down, a lot of guys are using spinners. And if you can anchor up in a spot and wait for those fish to come through to you, that's your best bet. But guys are getting them trolling too. And you can troll through different spots and you cover lots and lots of water if you don't like just sitting there. Troll the Silvertrons, double bladed, big bladed, a spinner, chartreuse, blues, blue and chartreuse. It's hard to go wrong with those. Also, we make a big old blue fox type lure, big spinner that the guys are throwing up there at the outlet. Blue in that color and chartreuse are your two top. Silver works really good too during cloud cover. They will continue to plant the upper creeks, Deer Creek, Butte Meadows, which is Butte Creek, Hat Creek, Lassen, all that whole upper area. They will continue to plant that. Clear Creek, all those ones with campgrounds, put and take stuff. So if you haven't got away, get away, do that, and go do a little camping, do some trout fishing. Of course, power bait, salmon eggs. You can't go wrong with that. Little hooks, you're good to go. Still lots of trout. They'll stop planting about mid-September. in Hat Creek and stuff. So, you still got a little while, some leftovers, some fish laying around for that, which is really cool. Really, really a lot of fun. Um, then we dropped down to Shasta. I talked to those guys over there. They're still catching lots of kokanee and trout, about 100 feet down. Whiskey Town, still, guys are sending me pictures of rods that they use from me that we make. We make a kokanee rod, and it's an awesome rod. Um, Coco spins and that little propeller spinner that I make, it just really works good. And spinning hooch, little hoochie with a little spinner on it. That one works really good. Dip your corn. You can put anise oil, you can put garlic oil, kind of whatever you like. You can put on there. Maybe mix it with some tuna will help, but put some corn, some tuna together, and go get them. Hook a couple pieces on there. Go try that out. And wherever you see them on your graph, well, that's where you want to put your downrigger down to. 1.4, 1.5 miles an hour. The 6-inch sling blade works really good at Whiskey Town and Shasta. When you get over to Bullards, some of the places that are smaller, the 4-inch sling blade works a little better. So put that in your hat and remember that. Though it works just a little bit better over there. Excuse me. We'll be concentrating. I've been talking all day, every day. We're a little red in the face, just because it was windy a couple of days ago, and I got a little burnt out there, a little wind burnt. So still working on that up here fishing. So we've fished every day since we've been here. So the last, 20, 21 days, 22 days, something like that. So it's been a good run so far, and hopefully we'll have another 10, 15 days in a row, and we'll go from there. We just had, we'll throw this out there. We just had Sunday. The guys that are fishing Saturday and Sunday, they're only able to fish Saturday. So now I had Sunday just open up, like,
Yeah.
right away there. So low network, talking about low network. We're okay here. You okay on your end for
I'm good.
connection? All right.
You're getting
Something
a little choppy, but you're coming back.
something popped up, low network. We'll see what happens with that. Um, if the network stays on and the net thing. But so we just had that pop open. So that'll be kind of cool. So we'll see if someone can zip up here and catch some fish with us on Sunday, the 24th, I believe that is. Yep, 24th. Um, Collins Lake is still producing a lot of fish. The Delta has already started to produce more stripers. Trolling down there, I can't wait to get back. We'll fish salmon on the Feather. Then we'll fish salmon on the American. Then we'll bump over the McCollum. Then, and we'll do reports on all these all the way through. Then we'll jump to the Delta and start trolling for the stripers over there. So it'll be a busy, busy next 4 months. We'll keep things moving. And then don't forget, we want to thank everybody for all the support, all the tackle shops that carry our products. Johnson's just restocked on puff balls, on plugs, on jigs, and on spinners. So they just restocked on everything because they sold out of everything else. So Johnson's in Yuba City's got our stuff. Chico, the tackle box in Chico there, downtown off east there, they've got all our stuff in there. Tons of stuff. And they're throwing out some pretty good deals. So check out our Facebook page, check out Old Farts Fishing page, and you will get some really, really good deals, fishing deals. I like giving back as much as we can, so that's a cool thing. Um, what else do we got? I mean, bass fishing is always bass fishing is good. We're gonna have minnows back in stock probably in 2 weeks. That's cool. The minnow guy called us yesterday and said they're gonna have minnows available. So for all the guys in the Delta and all the guys on the lakes, you want to catch some fish, go take some minnows, drop them off the main body points, and you'll catch all the bass that you can handle. Along with that's Shasta, Oroville, all over. You cannot use live bait on Whiskey Town. So check your regulations before you head out there and make sure you abide by those rules because live bait works really good where it's closed. So
Yes, it
yeah, there's a little story about that. I'm not going to say that it was me, but there was a little story about that. And some guys were catching all these fish on live minnows, and a bunch of them, and nice ones. And they went back to the store to go get some more. Yeah, oh, we were fishing up at the lake, and guys like, oh well, it's a good thing, you guys know that that's closed to minnow fishing up there. They're like, oh yeah, we know that. We didn't know that. So, but anyway, we skated out of that one. That was pretty good. I should say, the person I was talking about. So I never want to admit something like that. Um, let's talk about what goes on in our boat. I've had some different people, some different clients from around the places, and I see clients of mine with other guides, and I have clients with me that have gone with other guides. It's all right. It's all good. The people form to different personalities, and you're going fishing, you want to have fun with the person you fish. I don't cuss a lot. We don't tell a lot of dirty jokes. I don't drink. I don't smoke any pot, anything like that. I don't smoke. So, I mean, and I'm not against anybody who does. I'm not saying that I'm better because all those things I've done before.
Well, you're hanging out
Okay.
with me, so it must not
Yeah,
affect you.
yeah. So I don't judge anybody. I want to make sure that's clear. That's clear on that. But um, we've had some really, really cool clients, in the last week, and several of them have reconnected through the podcast. So that's been kind of cool. I had one guy that fished with me 25 years ago on the Smith River a bunch. And he actually was kind of funny because he shorted me one day on some money. And in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to fish this guy again. And he did it on purpose. He's like, oh, I just don't have enough. Here you go, like it or lump it kind of deal. But we were friends, and I should have just forgiven it and let it go, right? But I never fished this guy, never called him, never contacted him, nothing, right? He got the boot. He's like, oh man, I saw you on that old farts fishing at Stoney Stone. He goes, man, I just wanted to hang out with you, and he didn't really care about going fishing. I mean, he got a nice fish, but he really wanted just to go and hang out and kind of reminisce. And we talked about the old days, but I also talked about that, I've as a person, as you grow up, you change a little bit. And you're not probably that same person that you were before, and hopefully you're, for the better, you improve, and where you fail, you ask for forgiveness. But when you tell a story to someone, it opens up a story to someone else. And so what I mean by that is if you're a guy and you're in a status position, meaning, and I'm not saying I'm in a status position. I'm a fishing guide. I'm not no doctor or nothing. I can catch fish. I don't save lives. Maybe I do some counseling sometimes, and then it's adult daycare sometimes. But we don't want to get into that. But but when you open up and become vulnerable, that yeah, you still make mistakes. You're still not perfect. Maybe you tell a story about what you've gone through or things that have helped, you in your life. Or, I mean, we all got to get through this life together. We're all going to die. That's going to happen. So while we're here, why don't we do the best we can do? Your line, just do better, you know? And so you tell a story, and I get to tell my story about, almost dying and then coming back and struggling to get back. And, some people know, some people don't know. And it's okay, it's either way. And, some people would say financially it wiped me out because of the hospital bills. Physically, it wiped me out. I didn't walk for months, talk for months, all these things. And people say, oh, we're so sorry that happened to you. But I look back at it and the direction I was going at that time, it was all about money and more and more and more. And I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars were coming in as a guide. And as guides go, that was, I mean, it was just crazy money. And we were fishing and catching fish. And I almost felt bigger than I should have. Almost felt like I was more than just a dude fishing. I almost thought like, oh, look at me. I mean, I can say that. Probably my ego got in there a little bit. And when and I call it God, but you would whatever someone else wants to call it. But kind of, gave me a little knockdown. Said, hey, here's a little piece of reality. I'm not going to take you home yet, home meaning heaven, but you know what? You got to chill out. You got to chill out. And people say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you because, you lost the American dream, your houses, your finances, all that stuff." But man, it made me such a better dude. I mean, life is okay and you can forgive other people and you can move on and you just every day is different now. And it's not a status thing. Sure, you got to advertise. Sure, you still got to, sure, I want to catch some fish. Do I want to catch the most every day? No, I don't. Because then you feel that, you got to target, everyone's watching. You got a target on your back. You just want to be consistent and take care of your dudes. And if you can do that, you'll be better off. Anyway, back to the story. I rambled on a little bit there.
No,
Other
that's
other
good. I mean,
people,
this is why we did this, right? If you
yeah,
remember back when you
this
and
is why we did this. There's no
I,
doubt about it.
why
I'm
we
looking
started the
forward to
podcast, right?
I'm
Was
looking forward to when I get back,
right.
setting up a little table, and then having like more samples. Like this is what we're doing. Wrap up a plug for someone, or these are the eggs we're going to put hook on a puff ball for people and help them out. So that's all coming, you know. But right now we're in a little trailer and on the road, and it is what it is here. But for people that come up, they've been calling and asking about different things and how to set things up. And I'm no expert. There's guys that have been here for 30 some years who are better fishermen than I am. And there's guys who are been here a year and there'll be a day that they whip you. And then there's a day that you catch some too. And it depends on your clients. And did you make the right move and have the right color on and the right size bait? Yada, 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 yada. But anyway, people are happy when they catch fish. We're taking care of them. I met another guy the other day, and he was telling a story about how he was running along and he was this tennis pro. Anyway, he had an injury that he was never going to be healthy again, da da da. Well, he beat the odds. They did surgery on him. And make a long story short, he started playing this game called pickleball, and he becomes some national champion dude, and known all over the world. And I mean, but he was able to tell his story of, not quitting, getting knocked down and coming back. And I'm like, well, hey, do you believe in God? And, this isn't a preaching type thing. We mention God a lot because I believe in God and everybody knows that, but it's okay. I believe I'm going to heaven, as long as I don't mess up, and then, but, if, the story is, well, so the story is the greatest love story of all time. You have a heavenly father, you know, who sends his son down to walk the earth. And there's a dude named Jesus who's walking around the earth. And there's no one that can dispute that because there's too many factual things that show that there was a dude walking around on the earth creating miracles. He was healing the sick, feeding the poor. I mean, those things happen. It's all been documented. It's not just like one thing happened. These miracles happen all over. So show me a better story out there. Show me a better, you know, whatever you want to put together. The Big Bang Theory, the mosquito. What when we die, is that it? Where does your soul go? Is it all over? Is that it? Is what you just came here on the earth to make a bunch of money and or is there more? Or we just here for a stopping point? So show me a better story. So then this dude Jesus, who was innocent, all he did was help people, gets falsely accused, gets crucified, straight up crucified. I mean, they hung him on the tree and they killed him. Documented facts. Dude, the dude dies, and then 3 days later they can't find him. So the story goes he rose from the tomb, and just like he said he would, he prophesied earlier on, and there was prophets that said he would rise up in 3 days because he died for us. You and I can screw up. I can mess up. I can say something I shouldn't. I can do something I shouldn't. You can do something like, doggone, that wasn't right. You know what's right and wrong. Your conscience tells you, you know, and I can sincerely say, can I be forgiven for that? Lord, please forgive me. And if you're sincere about it, it says in the Bible, the slate is wiped clean, the page is over. Now, in the world, if you created a bad enough sin, you're going to have to pay the price. You know, you might have to go to jail, you might have to go, you might catch a disease, whatever it may be. That's the worldly stuff that's going to happen. But your slate's clean. You got a chance to go to heaven. You got another day to make it better. Tell me if there's a better story out there. Show me one. Maybe I'll jump on board. But I mean, bottom line is, if you ask Jesus into your heart and you truly believe in God and you do the right thing, I mean, it's the 10 Commandments, no steal, don't deny your neighbor, you go down the whole deal. And if you don't know what the 10 Commandments are, just ask your phone. They'll tell you them real quick, you know? But goodness, just doing good things doesn't get to you to heaven. You have to acknowledge that there was a dude that died for your sins. And once you do that and you ask Jesus into your heart, then that means that you submitted, that you were vulnerable, that you are committed to that. And you said, okay, I'm giving my heart to you, Lord. And then you get to go to heaven. I mean, I want to see you when I go to heaven. I want to see everybody when I go to heaven. So, and they say, okay, and then here's the flip of the coin. Some people say, well, I can't see God, there are no miracles. When I was in the hospital, there was 5 reasons why people died, all the way through. 5 reasons why people survive an accident. The sixth reason was what all the doctors called the God factor. Now, these are the most brilliant minds in our state, in the medical field. Brilliant. Studied school 15, 20 years. I mean, intellectually wise, top of their game. And they're like, people don't die or people do die, and it makes no sense. No sense at all. Nothing medically speaking says that that person should have lived or that person should have died. So they call it the God factor. Even if they don't believe in God, that's the thing, the God factor, the unexplainable. If you walk around and you talk to different people, people say, I don't see no Jesus healing people, making the blind to see. All you have to do is walk around and talk to people and be open, and you will hear a miracle story everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. And again, I've got one for myself too.
Yeah.
So when you open that up, when the doctors say you're supposed to be dead, but you're alive right now, we don't know why. That's the God factor. So anyway, show me a better story. But the old Bible, ask Jesus into your heart. Say, hey, I acknowledge that he died for my sins. You can ask for forgiveness if you truly mean it. I mean, you can't be like, oh, dude, forgive me of my sins, and then just keep going doing the same thing. I mean, you can't. It's got to be from the heart, and you got to really mean it. But that's between you and God. I'm not the judge. Judgment day, it's going to be you and God. It ain't going to be me and you, and not going to be everybody all together hooping and hollering and cheering because you made a touchdown. It's going to be you and God. It's going to be like, how you doing? You know, I don't know of a better love story out there of a man that would give his life for everybody else to be possibly saved. So, anyway, back
Pretty,
to fishing. Back to fishing.
pretty powerful story. That's for
So,
sure.
yeah, back to fishing. So, we've got rods and reels at the tackle box. We love to fish. We love people. We love hanging out with them. We love sharing stories. We love catching them fish. I mean, bottom line, we like to fish, and the Feather River is kicking out salmon right now. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. But if you just joined, you know, I've got some openings on my boat, 530 570-8057. Text me. Jump up here. Fish this up here. I think we're all booked for the Feather River now, but we'll make it happen. We'll figure out something. There's fish to be caught and things to be done, and another day to live. And just like you say, Stoney, and I love it. Just do better. And it's not that you didn't do good. Don't be hard on yourself. But when we all get agitated. We all get. I'll tell you a story about what I said today. It was bad. I had to ask for forgiveness. So see, I make mistakes. We all get agitated. Well, I pull in. Okay, so if you've ever been in the Rogue, there's anywhere between 80 and 100 boats, right? And we all just kind of jig and jog around, and you do your best. So I got a little opening, so I spin around and I kind of go in there, and we're moving along and we're going slow. And one of my guys is having some problems with his reel, and so I walk up to the front, help him out a little bit, walk back, and there's this blue boat. He's not a guide. And I mean, I got people right in front of me and to the left and the right of me. And he's right at my engine. And there's two ladies and two guys in there, and they're hollering at me. You pulled out in front of me, and then you stopped. And then, well, I didn't stop. My motor was in gear. We were going forward. I'm sorry, the outgoing tide, but he still thought that he needed to go fast. But if he would have paid attention, he would have realized that he would have caught more fish if he would have went slow. But that's here nor there. And so they're like, yeah, you guys, da 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 da. And so he went off on me because he's frustrated with the guides. And she starts yelling at me and stuff like that. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm sorry, it's my first day. I thought I was in gear, and she kept yelling, and the lady had this was so bad. I shouldn't even say it, but it's fun. I did have to ask for forgiveness. She was a little chunky. And I'm like, well, I think we should have some more chicken nuggets and ice
Oh
cream.
no.
And, and I
Kevin.
go, but
Yeah.
we're all gonna catch some fish, so it's okay. And then she said a couple other choice words to me, and I was like, that was so wrong, but it was funny. It was
It
so
was something
funny.
I would do, that's for sure.
And yeah, I just need some more chicken nuggets and some ice cream. And that, yeah, so, but you know, I didn't cuss her out or nothing. I go, well, I'll move forward a little bit. And overall, we get comments and stuff, and we talked about different guides, and it was pretty cool because I had a guy send something back, and he said, "Hey, we really enjoyed our trip with you." And this isn't to boast me; it's just to let you know what we're talking about. And he said, my guys are a little older, and they have some difficulty, and they've been with other guides before, and the other guides were pretty hard on them. The guides were more about them catching a fish and ego, and you got to do this and reel it in quick, and and they were really pretty upbeat, pretty fired up. Not that I don't get instructional, but when it needs to happen, but a little bit lighter. And they said we appreciated you because we still caught fish, and yet we all felt comfortable in the boat, and so that made me feel really good. And those little comments help, and we all need comments. We all need a little pat on the back once in a while. It's okay because we get down or we get bummed out or tired. It's okay to uplift each other. Now to make it seem like, oh, you're idol or on a pedestal or holier than thou, and then now you got to take it down a notch. But to encourage someone else is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And so yeah, for other guides and other younger guides and stuff like that are pretty go-getters and in the ego, I wish I would have realized it sooner in my career. I really do. I really wish I would have realized it sooner in my career. But we still, hopefully, we got, another 30 years to go. You and me, we can hang out 30 more years. That'll be pretty good, huh?
That would be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we'll at least take today. We got at least today. So
Yeah, well, I know I can't wait for you to get back down here and get caught up with getting some more footage to show all the fishing we're doing and techniques and stuff like that.
we got so much
So
stuff
much
to
to do.
show. We got so much stuff to show, so many notes already written on each one. We're just kind of buying like 2 more weeks up here, and then we'll get back and we'll be able to set up and put together rods and reels and things like that, and then get a little more information. And
So more
yeah,
to
that'll be
come
pretty
for
good.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yep, yep, lots more to come. But hey, tell me about you. The last time you went out catfishing, you guys got some catfish, yeah?
Yeah, that was the same weekend that we took off to go to Gold Beach because the tournament we were in was supposed to be the weekend before, and then something got messed up with permits. They pushed it out a week, which was the same time we were going to go to Gold Beach. So we did a catfish run, took 10th place, and out of 25 teams, so not terrible. Caught fish, just couldn't
But
get.
you had a good time. You had a
Oh,
good time, got
we
some
had a
fish. Yeah.
blast.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it's about. And you caught some fish. That's fun. Good job.
Hit the road, went and saw you, and fished with Warren, Dave, and Anthony. We, the Kurt, I think was his name, was the other guy on the boat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We caught some salmon. Everybody got to take some salmon home. That was cool.
Yeah,
And eat it. It's fantastic eating. Great job. Thanks for coming up and spending some time with us up here. Yeah, that's pretty neat. And back to that story a little bit about telling stories. I want to make sure that everybody knows if you're ever feeling down or you just need to talk to someone, or maybe you got a story you want to talk about, or maybe you got some questions about you got anger or stuff in your life, feel free to text me anytime. I'll sit down and I don't have all the answers, but by any means, but it's always nice to talk to someone and move forward. So I'm open to that. If anybody ever wants to just to open up and talk about maybe what they're going through, or maybe you just need a prayer or something. Maybe you just need just something, just some little bump up. I believe in the power of prayer big time, and so if you need something, I mean, some of my buddies, they don't even know that I pray for them. This guidance, it's a tough lifestyle. Buddies have problems in relationships, finances. You're away from your wife. You're away from your girlfriends. I mean, it's not an easy life at all for relationships. And guys go through it. And I understand that. I've seen it my whole life,
yeah.
guys going through it. But, and I pray for them sometimes. And, maybe I pray even that they catch a fish, or, that they have a good day, or, something like that. So power of prayer is a pretty amazing thing. So if anybody ever wants to talk about God, or want to hear my story or the road that I went on and where I ended up, how I ended up, and believe me, although financially I was devastated and physically, my body and my heart, my soul is in such a better place, and I'm at peace. It's an amazing place, and I've been there for several years now. So it's a pretty cool place to be. So if anybody wants to ever talk about that, you just let me know. We'll talk fishing. We'll talk a little bit about that too.
Yeah, and money does not make happiness. I'll tell you that. We've gone through, a lot of money in the past and doesn't make us any happier. In fact, sometimes my most joyful time was when we had no money.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I got story after story after story about that, but growing up, I always thought we were so poor, but I mean, we had a house, and so we were pretty rich. My parents were together, and so actually, I was pretty dang rich, but financially, we were as poor as could be. If you wanted, I remember sitting at the bus stop, and I had one pair of corduroy pants, these brown pants. They were corduroys, where you're walking, they go ship, 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 and they were hand-me-downs from one of my cousins. And the one gal says, "Well, don't you have any other pants?" We were at the bus stop, and we're fifth grade, fourth grade, something like that. And I go, "No, I have 5 pairs, one for every day. Don't you have 5 pairs of the same pants?" So, oh, here I have a fourth grader, but you know, and then it was like if you wanted something, you went out and worked for it. Then it went from no money to hundreds of thousands to millions. Then it went to no money again. So, how about that? Kind of crazy story how that goes. But as a heart goes, as a soul goes, as a person, I'm richer than I've ever been. So, not financially. So, I'm not giving out loans right now, just so you know. No loans. I need a loan, but I can't give a loan. But you're right, money doesn't make you happy. We do have to have it to live.
We
You
do.
know, like Warren came up and and Dave came up and Anthony, they paid for their trip, guys. They didn't get a free trip out of it. They still paid. They drove all the way up there and they paid. I mean, I still gotta pay my insurance to get my medicine and we still gotta survive. But it's not like before, like I have to reach 100,000 by this month. I have to reach 500,000 by that month. I have to reach 1 million by this year. Those goals are all gone because those get you nowhere, 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 nowhere. Just keep fishing, do better. It's the
Do better.
way better life that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if God blesses you with finances, there's nothing wrong with that. If
Right.
you are rich and you got lots of money, there's nothing that says there's anything wrong with that. That's great. But just don't make money be your idol. Don't make money be your such focus that you only focus on money because you know what? You'll never catch up. I promise you. There will always be someone ahead of you. You will never get more than someone else. There'll always be someone. You can have 20 cars, you'll find out the guy has 30 cars. You'll have 5 billion and a guy's got 6 billion. How much do you need? And then one day you'll wake up going, who are my kids and grandkids and friends? And oh, wait, I got all this money. Now I don't have the health. I'll tell a quick story. I was in ICU and there's a couple nights after God told me that I was going to make it and wasn't going to die. The doctors told me I was going to die. God said I wasn't. I'm still here. Yeah. Who's the higher power there? Anyway, where I was at, UC Davis, ICU intensive care unit, people were coming in and they were going out. They were coming in and they were going out with the white sheet over them. No joke, straight up hardcore. People were dying all around me. They wheeled this dude in, and he owned some huge steel company from the Bay Area and had them all over. And he is a man of power. He's a multi millionaire, maybe even in the billions. That he's early 60s. He's got it all. He's got the world, but you know what I mean? He's got it all. Nothing but business for this guy because he keeps getting headaches. Now I'm across the hall and I can hear the conversation that they're having with him. And they're like, sir, I'm not going to bring up his name, just because of the family and stuff. They're, sir, you got a tumor here. It's growing. Um, take these, get your finances in order. You got maybe 5 days to live. The dude flips out on him. Okay, flips out on these doctors, brilliant minds. He starts throwing things, cussing, yelling, do you know who I am? Do you know how much money I have? Do you know who I am? He kept saying this because his whole life, when he got to this status, people did whatever he said to do because he had money. They didn't do it because they liked him. They did it because he had money. So he starts cussing and yelling, telling them that they're idiots, telling them to get a second opinion. Well, believe me, they already did every x-ray sideway. They had 5 opinions. I mean, you're at UC Davis intensive care unit. You got the best doctors in the state, right? He lasted 2 days. Bitter as could be. Bitter as could be. Money did not buy him out of it. Now, he could have had that money and been like, wow, this sucks. I need some time alone. It's my time to go. And he would have had family there and he would have had people. If his soul and if his heart would have been out giving, still having money would have been no problem. But he was a businessman. This is how it is. I don't care. Money ain't there, cutting you out. Boom. If you do that, if you do that, one day you'll die alone. I don't know if he met the Lord. I sure hope he did. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I hope I meet him in heaven and he asked for forgiveness and was okay. The dude sitting next to Jesus on the cross was a thief and said, hey, I screwed up, man. I believe you. You're innocent. I'm here. I'm a criminal. I want my forgiveness. And Jesus said, you're going to have, it was in his heart that he was truly sorry. And Jesus said to him, hey, I'll see you in heaven. There you go. So you can be anybody back then. That's your past, but it's who you are from the present on. Money does not buy you happiness, but if you have money, that's cool too. Let's go fishing. book a couple. Let's
Let's
book a
spend some of
couple
that
days.
money.
Hey, let's book a couple days. Right on. You know what I mean? It's all good. But yeah, it's an interesting perspective to look at. I was 40, about 44 when all that happened to me. When finally the tables turned for me, when I realized it. I feel fortunate. So I tell my story to people because a lot of people might be like that 61-year-old multimillionaire that made it for 2 days and hated everybody, hated life, but he had millions of dollars, you
So
know?
kind of interesting. You tell your story, and yours is very dramatic. From almost leaving us forever and going to a better place. Mine's not so dramatic, but at about 49, living in the Bay Area, working for high tech, and not liking myself, not liking where we are. We had lots of money, made tons of money. We're buying cars every year, buying trailers, just, I mean, living high on the hog, doing all the fun stuff. But so one day I had a health scare where it's like, having a heart attack, and luckily it wasn't. But it was that point where you're like, I got to make a change in my life. And I retired at 49. And our financial advisor is like, nope, you're too young to retire. You're 49 years old. You got a long way to go. But we kind of looked at things, and looked at investments, and looked at where we were. And, he's like, well, if you can pick up a job, something to make, a little bit of money. And I'm like, well, I'll start a photography business. I know shit about photography. I'm taking pictures of surfers and flowers and stuff that doesn't make money, and a wedding here and there, and a few different things. But ended up saying, well, I guess I'll figure out how to make this work. Moved out to Marysville, and started a business, and here we are now doing fishing and all kinds of stuff. But it goes to the thing is, money isn't what makes you happy. What I found was working for somebody else, working for high tech, being somebody I didn't like to be, to get the money was something I didn't want to do anymore. So I'll give the money up to where now I can give back. I've met so many amazing people, including yourself, doing what I did, and there's a reason. There's a reason why those paths have crossed, and maybe this is the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's lots of reasons. And if you can help one person, then maybe you did a good job for the day. Maybe you opened up, maybe help them get them through the day, whatever. I need help, you need help, we all need help getting through things. But fishing's our core, fishing's my core, obviously, more than yours is more than life.
I'm still learning. I'm
But
still
you,
learning.
but you love to fish. That's the point.
Yeah.
The point is, and with your knowledge of podcasts, photography, social media, you're able to take your intelligence on that level and share it with other people. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to post all that stuff, do all those things. And I mean, at least I've been up here, what, 3 weeks now? 3 weeks up here. I've had at least 26, 27, or 27. I think I wrote it down. Different people mentioned, hey, Kevin, how you doing? Hey, we like that old farts fishing. What is that about? Da da da. Cool. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for doing the pod. We want to see more information about fishing. We want to see how to rig this. We want to see that. I'm like, yeah, it's coming, guys.
Yep.
We're just getting a feel for this. And the people that have been here right now, thank you for that. We thank you a whole bunch. People have booked trips off the podcast. People have, commented all over. Well, here was my story. I get people email me, hey, I was in, Stanford. I did this, I did that. Everybody's got a story. You go back to that miracle thing, and it doesn't have to be dramatic. I'm a fisherman. I'm eccentric. I like to, I mean, it was that big, it's a big fish. We like big fish. So we like and that's what it took for me. It took a what I call a 2x4 upside the head for me to be like, whoa, get it together. It took if something major wouldn't have happened to me, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I would have kept going. Who knows? I would have never met my amazing angel wife, Roxanne. That would have never happened. I wouldn't be in the church that I am. Who knows? Who knows? God has a plan. But the key is I stopped and said, just like you, I can't do this anymore. I'm
Right.
not doing this anymore. I don't want to work this hard for that money to have it on the weekends to do everything the world says. Bigger trailers, bigger house, new trucks, bigger boats, new gear, all that stuff, but really have no time to ever use it because why? Because I'm working so much. It's just a double-edged sword. You got to work some. We have to work. We have to work to make money. We have to pay our stuff. But do you really need all that new stuff to keep up with the Joneses? And when you look in the mirror and you're comfortable with who you're looking at, and you're like, yeah, yeah, I'm okay. Not meaning like, oh, I'm the best. I don't mean it like that. Not as an ego trip, but like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm an all right guy. You know, I'm going to try to do my best today, to help other people out. I'm going to try not to make a smart ass comment to some lady in a boat, which I should have done. It just came out. It just came out. I didn't even mean for it to. And I was like, oh man, I shouldn't say that. I almost said, you shouldn't be that far along, out in the rough water. But that wouldn't have went over well either.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have done that. And I did. I asked for forgiveness, and it wasn't meant as it just it just happened.
Just the thing.
But yeah, 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 and those things are happening. And hey, we're human, okay? So that's okay. Like you said, I already asked for forgiveness. It was wrong, and I'm gonna move on with that. But overall, we all have those little times where we are tired or exhausted or stressed out, man. That stressed out and that financial stuff, man, that can really bite you. But fishing is the cure all to everything. If you want to get well, go fishing. And
Absolutely.
then when you're on the water, whether you come to terms with God or the fish or the outdoors or the universe or whatever you're into, whatever it is, when you connect with that, then the healing will happen. And we all need a little healing. And some of us, I mean, there's dudes we know that have bad backs, that physical ailments like me, um, yeah, different people all over the place. And you know what? They still go fishing. Fishing's a good thing.
Yep.
You know, there was a lot of fishermen that were close to the Jesus, and I'm not sure why he picked the fishermen. Maybe because of the long hours or the inconsistency, to be his disciples. But there's some coordination with that. There's a connection there with the I want to say the adapting to any situation to try to make it work. That's why he chose those people to be part of his disciples. So anyway, we are fishers of men, fish catchers, fish releasers, fish photographers, fish fish podcasters. We're fishermen. That's what we are. We're just the fishermen. That's all.
Yep.
That's what we are. I sure like this old farts fishing with Stoney Stone. You got that on Monday. Let's talk about that a little bit. You got something coming up on Monday, and then we'll have probably when we get back some more guests on
Yep.
air. And then what else do we want to talk about in here?
Oh, so we did a promotion on your Fish Kevin Brock page. So
That's right. That's right. We haven't forgot about that. We did a
right,
promotion. You send in a salmon picture,
you had
and
to
guys
post
have
it
been
on the
sending them in.
post. The
Right
post created. You had to
on the post.
comment with
Right,
the
right.
picture.
Stoney will get all the details for me, but I'll just fine line it. Send in a picture to the post. Win a free fishing rod. And because of last week, because we missed it, we're gonna give it one more week. So send in more pictures, right?
Yep. Post some
To
more.
where do we send pictures to?
So I'm going to repost it tonight on Fish Kevin Brock. There'll be a logo that has the Kevin Brock, the K Brock rod, black logo, go black and gold logo.
Yeah,
Comment with your salmon picture on that post
yeah.
for the free rod, and then next podcast we will throw all the names on there that entered, and we will draw it live right on the podcast. We'll spin a little wheel and
Spin a wheel.
spin the wheel and see who wins. So,
Nice, nice. Well, I just got low network bandwidth again.
yep.
I
Which
don't know.
means you're tired, your internet's tired. We should probably cut it a little
An-
short, but
Another day. We caught fish today. We had happy
nice.
clients. Thank you, Lord, for that. We got to eat food. We appreciate all of you guys out here. So we say this because this is what we're supposed to say on podcasts. You're supposed to like the Facebook. You're supposed to subscribe. You're supposed to whatever you're supposed to do. I don't know. I don't care. Just Stoney, make sure that my cell phone number is out there.
Absolutely.
So people can text it. Shoot me a text. I can't pick up the phone while I'm driving and fishing and netting fish, right? But I can sure text you back real fast. Ask about fishing. Ask what we're doing. If we got anything available, even for information, we're giving it out to people to try to help you out. So, with that, we love you all. We really do. We really do. I mean, and anything that anybody ever wants to bring up to me, I've ever done someone wrong, or maybe something happened at a point of time in my past I didn't realize. Hey, come to me, and I'll ask you for forgiveness, and make it right. So anyway, with that being said, fish on. We appreciate you listening to Real Talk with Kevin Brock at 7 o'clock because the hour is almost up. Stoney, anything else you need to plug in there?
No, just a minute with Stoney Stone on Mondays at 7 o'clock. We are going through some rebranding. We're switching it up to Fishing with Stoney Stone. It already has a brand out there, but making a few changes. I've got too many social media sites trying to combine some things down. But you want to see what's going on there. I think I've got a big catfishing guy out from North Carolina coming on Monday night to talk. Dieter Melhorn. If you guys watch YouTube, watch catfishing, but we do have him as a guest. I will confirm with him, but I hope to get him on Monday, and then a bunch of other guests. I think I've got another guest on Monday. I can't even remember who it is. Got too many guests, Kevin. We have a lot of
That's
guests
all right.
every week. We have somebody.
That's good. Wait till I get back.
Oh,
We're gonna bombard it.
James Stone is going to be on. That's what it was.
Oh, Stoney, James Stone.
James Stone talking about the
Oh,
NorCal Guides Association dinner
he's doing
coming up.
he's doing a lot there. They put together a good dinner. Hopefully they take some of our products. I was talking to him today, but he wants me to go to the dinner. But last year they bought a bunch of rods from us, and that was a big hit. But I don't know if they're going to do that this year. So ask him if he's going to have those.
I'm going to
Ask him
have
if
to
he's
put a
going to have.
bug in his ear on Monday, if not
Be
before.
like, hey man,
Hey,
you got to support the local guides. Come
there you
on,
go.
James Stone.
All
Come
right.
on, buddy. All right.
Anyway, see you guys next week. We will have a live drawing for that Fish Kevin Brock rod. And like, subscribe, follow, go to Old Farts Fishing or Fishing with Stoney Stone, and then follow us on YouTube as well. And then, of course,
All right, buddy.
KevinBrock.com.
All right. Thank you much. Love you all.
Thanks, yeah.